Hello, it's Ashley here. Thank you so much for clicking on this video and joining me today. You are in my kitchen with me and we're going to do some cooking. I did some cooking the other day and got a little bit of positive feedback, and I got positive feedback from Harry. He said the ham was banging. Yeah, so that's one to definitely do again. And I thought it's been a while since I've done some cooking, so I've got my friend Katie coming for dinner tonight. Haven't seen her in a while, and we're going to cook something out of this month's Sainsbury's magazine. They've got a feature in there about cooking on a budget, and I said that I might do some recipes cooking on a budget. What I'm doing today isn't specifically budget friendly, but when we've eaten and decided whether we like the food or not, I will give you a price breakdown per portion. So it's time to take you down and show you what we're going to cook. So apologies for the shadows that you're getting. Lighting isn't very good, I'm afraid. It's a funny time of day. We are going to be making this lamb meatball, red pepper and feta rigatoni bake, and we're going to do a few little hacks along the way. But these are the ingredients. I'm doubling the recipe. The recipe in the magazine serves 4. I'm doubling everything, so I've got portions of 8. Harry has got a very hearty appetite. It's unclear whether he's going to be with us tonight, so I would have definitely done enough to feed 6, but my thinking is, while the oven is on, I might as well cook 2 of these as one, and then we've got one for leftovers that can be heated up in the microwave. And it's my worst nightmare when I'm entertaining that people should go hungry. So I've got not quite a kilo of lamb. The original says 500 grams of minced lamb for 4 people. Aldi are selling theirs in 475 gram packs. I guess that is to do with the cost of living. They're keeping it the same price but giving you less. So we've got lamb mince, 200 grams of fresh white breadcrumbs. I've used stale bread out of the cupboard for that. Olive oil, chili flakes, crushed chili flakes, 2 egg yolks, 4 tins of chopped tomatoes. Now the recipe calls for you char grilling your own red peppers. I haven't got time for that, so it says to save time, buy the jars. Well, I couldn't get just red peppers in Aldi, so these are a mix. I will pick out mostly red ones. I've got 2 onions finely chopped. I've got, I will need 600 grams of rigatoni. I'll need some double cream. I will need 400 grams of feta, 2 garlic cloves and fresh basil leaves to garnish, which I've got on the windowsill. So I'll take you down and we'll start the process. So in this bowl, I've got the breadcrumbs. I've reserved 60 grams of them to sprinkle on the top of the bake, 2 egg yolks and the mince. And it says to squish the mixture together with your hands for 5 minutes. Now to me, that's going to overwork the mixture. I know that when I make my own burgers, it says not to overwork the mixture because it will make them tough. So I don't really want to do that. I have got scrupulously clean hands, and it is easier to do this with your hands than it is with a utensil. So I'm just squishing it in. I put a really good pinch of chili. I'm not adding any seasoning at this point. I'm just making sure that those breadcrumbs are dispersed through the meat mixture, and I used medium eggs as per the recipe. I always buy free range eggs, and I used to buy large because I thought they were better value. But I read that actually for the hens, laying large eggs is not a very pleasant experience, so I've stopped buying those and I'm now buying medium. This is quite a good workout actually. I should perhaps have got the mince out of the fridge a little bit earlier because it is very cold. Just give that another little mix. Got a little bit of egg yolk there. I could perhaps have used slightly less breadcrumbs, but it is a good way of making your meat go further if you're looking for a hack of, you know, using less meat. And of course, I'm using lamb mince. The recipe says that you could swap out this for beef or pork, but feta and lamb, if you didn't know, are a match made in heaven. I guess if you were vegetarian, you could use a meat substitute, but you would not be able to make this recipe vegan friendly, I don't think, because it's got dairy in it. Right, so I think that's going to do. I don't want to overwork my mixture. I've got a plate here. If I was using 500 grams of mince, it would be telling me to make 8 large meatballs. So from this mix, I want to make roughly 16. So I'm just going to make them into a meatball shape with my hands. Make them roughly the same size, because then they will cook at the same temperature. There we go. Try not to make them too big, because you want to be able to eat them, don't you? Don't know. The thing is, when I've shaped them and I've seen how many I've got, I can take little bits off some to make small ones bigger and big ones smaller, if that makes sense. But this would be quite a good thing to do with the kids, because kids like getting messy, don't they? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And the thing is, I don't know, I think it's better to have a few smaller meatballs than, you know, lots of, you know, than just maybe 2 big ones. I don't know. There we go. So I'll finish rolling these, and then I'm going to pop them in the fridge to chill. So the meatballs are just chilling in the fridge, just firming up, and I've got my 2 tablespoons of olive oil in here with my 2 finely chopped onions. Don't worry about chopping them too finely, and a good pinch of salt. And we're going to just fry this down for 8 minutes or so until it is nice and caramelized. So the onions have had 8 minutes, and I've added the garlic, crushed, 4 cloves, and that's had a minute. I'm now going to add the tomatoes. This is a very big pan, by the way. And I'm just going to mix this up. And it needs to cook for 10 minutes uncovered. I'm just going to turn the heat up slightly because my onions were catching a little bit on the bottom, but there's nothing really burnt, so I'm not going to get that bitter charred taste. So we will just leave this to do its thing for 10 minutes. While that is happening, I'm just draining my peppers. I didn't realise they were in oil. The ones that I normally buy from Sainsbury's are in brine. So I'm going to keep the calorie count down, I'm picking out the ones that I want out of these 3 jars, which will give me a little bit less than the 700 grams I need, I think. And I'm going to rinse them in some water. But you can see they've got the charred skins, which is what we want. I mean, if you want to go ahead and char grill your own peppers, it probably would be cheaper. So this has been bubbling away quite merrily. I thought I'd set a 10-minute time, and I've just asked Alexa how long's left on my timer, and said you have no timer's running. Anyway, in the meantime, I have drained and rinsed these peppers. Ideally, I needed 700 grams, but I haven't got enough. So I'm going to just stir those through, and then I'm going to blend all of this with a stick blender. Stick blender worked beautifully. Now is the time that you're going to add your double cream or mascarpone. As I said, Aldi hadn't got mascarpone, but double cream is a bit less in fat, so it could be slightly less calories. I guess this is essentially a Romanesco sauce with the peppers and tomatoes, onions and garlic, but we're going to make it creamy now. So I need 4 tablespoons, and a little bit more for luck, and we're just going to give that a stir. Stir that through. What a lovely colour. As I say, this probably should have more pepper in it than it has, but got lots of sauce there for our meatballs to sit in, and let's just give it a little taste. Oh, that is nice. Gonna just add a little bit of black pepper. And maybe just a touch more salt. Don't forget, feta is going to be going into this at the end, so that in itself is quite salty. Let's just give that another little taste. That is really nice, actually. I'm going to leave that at that. Now, the next thing that I need to do is keep this on a low heat, and I need to cook my meatballs. So I will cook my meatballs. So I've added these to a pan, and I've got some tongs to turn them. They're kind of like on a medium heat, turning them regularly. I'm cooking them in batches because I don't want to over crowd the pan, because they will steam then. And then when I'm happy with the colour on them, they're going to go straight into the sauce. Come on, little one, turn over. And you don't need to worry about cooking them through, because they're going to cook in the sauce, and it is a bake, so they're going to cook in the oven. And it's like a Quentin Tarantino film. The sauce is bubbling up onto the tiles. Never mind, that's what they're there for, isn't it? So I'll just crack on with this and come back to you when all the little meatballs are in the sauce. So the lovely meatballs are added to the sauce, and we're just going to simmer them with the lid on for 5 minutes. While that is happening, I'm going to put some water on for my 600 grams of rigatoni. So my rigatoni is in boiling water. I'm just going to turn the heat down a little bit. It's in my big stock pot that I cooked my ham in the other day. And the instructions in the magazine say to cook the pasta for 2 minutes less than it says on the packet, and it says 12 minutes on the packet. So I'm going to give it 10 and then check it. The pasta is cooked and drained. I need to toss it with the sauce and half of the feta, so that's 1 pack because I'm doubling the recipe, remember, crumbled. I will do that, you don't need to see me get messy. So that went quite well actually, and you can see that the pan is empty, and I've divided the mixture between these 2 oven-proof dishes. I think these are going to be quite nice, you know. I made sure that there was the same number of meatballs in each tray because that's fair, isn't it? Although I did have 25, so yeah. But these look really hearty and substantial. Each one is supposed to feed 4. Well, I reckon you probably feed 6 out of each one quite happily. Well, I don't know if you've got a trenchman like Harry, but these just need to be covered up with cling film now and wait until Katie arrives. When she arrives, they need to go into the oven, which needs to be heated to 200 degrees fan, gas mark 8, for 15 to 20 minutes until piping hot, and then we're going to scatter over with basil leaves and serve with a punchy salad. It does say that you can prepare up to this step, which is step 5 of 6, 2 days in advance, and I think this would make a really nice informal dinner party or supper dish for friends. So I've just got all of the clearing up to do now. My dishwasher's already running, so I can't put anything in the dishwasher. And yeah, I need to give my hob a really good clean because I've been frying. It's a bit messy. But that's good. I've got a couple of hours until Katie arrives and I can chill, go and get ready and chill. So Katie's here and dinner is ready. Let's just have a little look at the dinner. Oh, just showed somebody who didn't want to be in the video. And there is our dinner. We're going to get it plated up. I will do a photograph of my plate of food, and then tomorrow I'll come back and I'll tell you what it was like and we'll work out what it cost per portion. So it is a couple of days later now, and given the announcement yesterday of the new cap on the energy bills, I thought I'd do the maths on this meal. So I went to Aldi, I bought other things that I needed, and my bill came to £86.80. There was a lot of wine there, 6 bottles of wine, or was it 4 bottles of wine? I don't know, but there was a lot of wine. And I've highlighted what I actually used for the main course. I did buy some blueberries, strawberries and raspberries for pudding, but I've highlighted everything that I used for the main course, including salad and cherry tomatoes, and it came to £20.51. There were 4 of us eating, but I divided that figure by 6 because that would serve 6 very, very hungry people, and that worked out at £3.41 a portion. It would equally serve 8 very, very hungry people, and that cost £2.56 a portion, which I think for when you're entertaining is a good figure. But actually I've still got loads left. I've had some for my lunch today. Harry has had some for dinner yesterday. I think Pete, Katie and Harry had seconds on the night. I didn't, and it would easily the quantity that I cooked served 12. I've said £20.51. I haven't costed the fuel, obviously. I haven't costed the olive oil that I used because that was in my cupboard. I haven't cost the chili flakes because they were in my cupboard, and I think, you know, if you're interested in food, you will have those things in your cupboard. Equally, I've counted the whole pack of eggs. I only needed 2 out of the 6, and I didn't use all of the cream, and I only used about 650 grams of the kilo of pasta, so that, you know, there's things left over from that. Feedback on the food was very complimentary. I think it's one that I will definitely do again, and if you're considering entertaining and you are on a budget, I think this would be really nice. If you're feeding 10-12 people, between £2.50 £1.70 a portion, I think is really good value for entertaining on a budget. Let me know in the comments down below what you think, and I'll be back with more food soon. Take care everybody, bye now.